Hello, folks. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to this chat. That's all it is. It's not a podcast, but you get one. You get one, and that's it. No more, no less. And then we can stop talking about the podcast. Is that fair? Is that alright? To be clear, this is not a podcast. To be clear, I want you to know that this is just a chat about Clocktower with friends. Because a podcast implies that we're going to keep doing this. And we're not. It's a one-off chat about a topic that you love and that we love. And that's it. Let's go say hi to everyone. Say hi to the stream, folks.
Hi, stream.
Hi to the stream.
Hi, stream.
This is not episode 1. Well, I guess it's episode 1 of 1. So
Episode 1 of what?
of a chat of four friends having a chat.
Yeah, obviously.
We've never had a
Four
chat
friends.
before, so yeah.
We're all in hibernation unless it's on stream. What do we want to talk about, gang? I guess Clocktower is probably the best way for us to start.
Probably.
How did you all get into Clocktower, gang? Let's go round in the circle clockwise. From Swampert.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I got into, funnily enough, the first ever Clocktower video I watched, you were a part of, Arif.
Oh, nice.
So it was always like a big thing for me to join your server and be like, oh, Arif was in the first video that I ever watched. Obviously, it was the NRB videos.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, same way a lot of people got into Clocktower, I think. And I think not too long after. But basically what I did was I started playing Clocktower and then with like watching Clocktower, and then with my sort of private group of friends, I hosted Clocktower as a storyteller a few times. Nice. And I was like, okay, I need to get into this more. So Arif, your server was the first one I joined and started playing there, and the rest is history.
Oh, wonderful. We're glad to have you. It's a wonderful server. And if you all would like to join the server, you can do. I should have teed this up. I'm not prepared for it because, again, it's not a podcast.
That check's in the mail, right?
Niz, what brought you to Clocktower, my friend?
So I got a DM from Lorinda, I think it was December 2021, asking, are you into social deduction games? And I'm like, I have no idea what that is, but I do like games. And then that followed with an invite to the Sotil server, where I played Clocktower exclusively on that, which was also streamed for many months. I'd go a bit wider, go to my introduction into social deduction games. First game I played was Throne of Lies, so I'd heard of things like Town of Salem and Werewolf. I've never actually played Town of Salem or Werewolf, but I played a bit of Throne of Lies. I was introduced to that by Savage, because I saw Savage playing on the Hearthstone stream. So I came from the Hearthstone community, basically, and the Hearthstone community playing this game, and then eventually branched out into the other communities playing this game.
Nice. Follow-up question. Marionette has asked, how do you know Lorinda? To which I've replied, they're friends. There you go. I've answered that question for you.
So I was usually into Hearthstone, and there was one time where I just saw Lorinda playing at a chess tournament in Nottingham. Nice. And I just approached Lorinda, and we just hit it off, and we've been friends like ever since. But yeah, we just randomly met at a chess event one day. I knew Lorinda. I was just a random person walking up to Lorinda. And yeah, that was it.
Yeah, lovely. Ellie, how did you get into this wonderful game?
YouTube.
Nice.
No Rules Barred, I think, was the first one, and when I get into something, I commit to it. So I watched every No Rules Barred episode, then I watched literally every video on the official channel, and then I watched all of Pat's videos, and then I watched all of your videos, and that's how I ended up here. I ran a few games for some of my friends, and then I joined your server, and that's how I started playing regularly, and yeah, now I'm here.
Lovely stuff. Well, I guess that brings me to me and how I got into Clocktower. Now, I was actually grandfathered into Clocktower. My father and his father before him have been playing this game for years. And yeah, they were there back when the empath was unearthed, back when the imp was the only demon in the box. Yeah, been playing it ever since. Yeah.
Arif's grandfather's actually really good at the game. Like, I don't understand how Arif is so terrible at it. Arif's grandfather really knew what he was doing.
All right, we agree. No bullying. I'm gonna shut it down. Right, that's all you're getting, folks.
I will just point out, Garrett has very lovingly posted that this is also being streamed on rfapodcast.com.
Wait, hold on.
Actually,
Which I have pinned.
Why is it going on that?
Jesus Christ. How's he managed this?
Not a podcast. This doesn't belong there.
Kudos to Garrett, honestly.
Now, okay. Now we're streaming the website, rfapodcast.com.
Oh, podcastception.
Garrett, you did this, Garrett. This is what you wanted. All right.
That is brilliant.
All right.
that's incredible.
Back to the chat. Do we have any good questions from chat? I don't really know how we want to play this. How do we want to do this?
I've seen a good one already, to be honest, which is actually just a bit of sort of prelude to this whole thing. The other loaf asked, well, didn't really ask, but commented saying, I honestly don't know where the podcast bit started, so I feel like we should start there. Like, how has this snowballed so much, Arif? Let's talk about that.
How has this snowballed so much, gang? Why don't you all tell me how this snowballed so much?
Not us, obviously.
I mean, you started. Snowball's got to start somewhere. Someone's got to pat it together and roll it down the hill.
I think it started with us just having a post-game chat one time, and people started calling it a podcast. And then someone said, "I'm not doing a podcast. I'm not doing a podcast. I'm not doing a podcast." And that just made everyone else go, "Podcast, podcast, podcast, podcast." I'm just thinking, you know that GIF we have in the thing with gamers and all the birds. I'm just thinking like that with podcast, podcast.
Look,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do anything like this. I still don't want to do anything like this because I feel like, as I've said before, there are so many great Clocktower podcasts out there that already fill this space that it's just not at this point. All I'm doing is trying to create a piece of content with some wonderful people that is inserted into a space that's already so well saturated and so well serviced. Like, there's no need for it. Now, obviously, look, if people want a podcast, they'll get one, and we'll show them why they'll never need any more. And that's what this episode 1
will make
of
you
1
regret it.
is all about.
I think what you said was right. I think there's a lot of great podcasters in this space, specifically sort of Clocktower focused. The one niche I feel like isn't filled is from the British side. There's quite a lot of American Clocktower podcasters, and not to take away from them, they're all quite very like serious and structured podcasts, which I do like. I do actually like to listen to them. I feel like we're just silly and have a bit of fun, really.
So,
Yeah.
Like which Clocktower is which vegetable kind of thing. You know, we're that kind of silly.
Which
Yeah.
character is which root? Scrumfoot, we established.
There's no such thing as a vegetable.
Vegetables
We've already
don't
covered this on the Lost Files. We've covered this.
so I know the others do podcasts. You guys have all listened to more than I do. I don't really listen to podcasts, but do they cover all the wide ranges of opinions? Is it not possible for other things to cover the same sort of topics and have different opinions?
Yeah, look, there's always going to be like something that's not covered in them. What I mean is I feel like I don't know if, and I'm saying it from my perspective because I'm not like dragging all of you down with me with this or anyone else that could absolutely do a fantastic podcast. But what I mean is I don't feel like I could provide anything more in that space that isn't already well covered. That's me personally. I feel like the rest of you could. And if you all want to do a podcast without me, because I'm not doing a podcast, I'm perfectly happy for that to happen.
Okay, it's Aj in chat. We need a replacement for Arif.
Alright, well, thanks, gang. I guess I'm dropping out, so...
I guess the meme changes. It's not bye Ellie anymore. It's bye Arif.
Can I just say, keep these questions coming. I'm making a note of a lot of them. Some of these are brilliant.
Yeah. Nah, we'll just jump straight into them. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, very simple question from Shadow, first of all. What's your favourite townsfolk to play as and why?
Ooh. Ellie,
Let me get my tier list. Hang
is
on.
yours the soldier?
Don't even say it.
It's the bloody soldier, isn't it?
Okay, you know.
It definitely begins with S, right? And it's something to do with demon kills. Yeah.
Don't
You may
say
register
it.
as a townsfolk.
Say it.
With the...
Don't say it. This is the right tier list. Right, hang on. I'm finding my tier list, guys. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
Someone else go first.
Go on, Diz. You tell us.
Yeah.
So for me, I do like strong townsfolk characters that actually have an impact on the game. And my favourite townsfolk character is a brokenly strong townsfolk character that I like to be. It's called the Gossip. And the Gossip can solve the game in ways that no other character can, because you can choose what your statement is and you can make it as a wide variety range as possible. And you can solve the game in 2 or 3 Gossip statements and prove both yourself and a bunch of other people. And I've just found sometimes I've had a game where the Gossip just solved it, and I'm like, yeah, this was not possible with any other character. It's just broken if you do it in the right way. And it's also the case that someone else can be the Gossip and they don't solve anything for 5 days because you don't know what killed. So it's also it's really complicated and interesting, but also super powerful.
Nice. Yeah, the Gossip's great. One of my favourite ever Gossips was one of these 4 players is the demon, and then it's obvious that it's the Gossip killed, and it's like, oh, we can just narrow it down from there. Ellie, have you got your tier list?
Yeah, I have.
What's your top
Alchemist.
3? What's your top 3?
Alchemist is my number 1.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
a controversial one.
I love minions.
I feel like all you're doing there is saying, what's your favourite townsfolk? Minion.
Minion, yes.
I want to be the minion townsfolk, please. I want to be a blue boom dandy.
I don't know if I particularly agree with myself here. This might be slightly outdated, but I agree that this isn't my top 3. Grandmother. I love Grandmother.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Grandmother. Yeah. You confirm a player. Yeah.
I was hoping for Philosopher. Alchemist.
Alchemist. Philosopher. What's the third one going to be? Drunk.
I just don't want to be my own role. That's all.
My third one on my tier list is Virgin. It might be Mare now.
Okay.
Ooh.
Controversial, I know.
Mare
But I love the Mare.
Yeah, Mare is good. Look, if you can get a Mare win off, I think that's almost like a objective complete sort of situation. It's like, it's a really feel good situation.
And
but
it's
they're
my
few
favourite bluff. It's the best bluff.
I have never had a male win. Never. Not once.
I've had 2, I think, and I've had 3 evil mare wins.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've had 50 evil male wins. Evil male wins are easy. You get those every other day. But actual male wins? No, never.
Genuine. Yeah, Amnesiac top tier. I hate the Amnesiac. Sorbet, what's your favourite townsfolk?
Mine is going to be a controversial one, but I think people will understand why. My favourite townsfolk is mathematician. I firmly believe that, especially on the scripts, so I have quite a few scripts of my own scripts which have a lot of poisoning and stuff on, and so I find that if you have a good mathematician who understands how mathematician works, like with the Gossip, it can solve the game. It can crack it wide open. If you understand those numbers and they're not messed with anyway, you know where all the misinformation in town is and where it should be. And I think mathematician's a great role.
It's great if you have all the information. If town are really obscuring the information, it's useless. As long as you have someone that can interpret the figures, yes. My
favourite is, of course, the Huntsman, the most perfect townsfolk that's ever been created.
I think you mean the pacifist, right? That's the most perfect townsfolk that's ever been created.
I mean, it's up there. It's up there. No, honestly, look, my favorite. I think the High Priestess has got I've got a really soft spot for the High Priestess. I think when it came out, especially, the meta has evolved on that role so much, and in a way, it epitomizes what Clocktower is all about. It's like, hey, go and speak to that person. Go and speak to that person. that person's going to give you an interesting convo today based on their information, their role, or just some arbitrary other thing that the storyteller thinks is worth your time. I think instead of giving someone information to solve the game, it's almost like giving them people to help solve, and that's just a beautiful thing. That's the Clocktower brings us all together, and nothing more than the High Priestess, in my opinion.
I especially love sending High Priestesses to Mezephiles on the first day when they're on the same scripts together. That's one of my personal favourites.
Just to be clear as well, folks, it's not a podcast. This is not a podcast. We're all sick of the bit, by the way. We're all just sick of the bit. So thanks, Patters, for making this.
How did it start this?
Oh, Patters carried it on, though.
I think you mean Patter's constant support, right? That's what you mean. That's what you mean.
Oh, it's not support. It's not for... Oh, I know him. It's not support. Oh, right. Well, I guess that's a good place to stop, right? Are we good to...
Fortunately, I've got about 6-7 more questions to go through.
Right, let's go through all of those, and we'll say no more questions.
More questions?
No more questions.
Sorry, was that more questions or no more questions?
No more questions. No, full stop.
I think you're cutting out. I don't.
Yeah.
I think he asked for more questions, guys.
I heard more questions. That's what I heard. With a
I
gap
heard
in
the words
middle.
more and questions. So.
Wait, X Factor said, "Can I get one more question?" Yep, there's your question. Thank you. Right, we can
Wish granted.
Yeah.
I think it's Chaos Dragger or Chaos Drag said, if you... This is a bit of a loaded question because you may not have an answer. If you could create a character for the game, what would it be and where would it fit in well? I'll answer this because I obviously have to go with the homebrew demon that myself and Harry created. Myself and Harry, as part of our server, we created a homebrew demon called the Lilith, which, especially at the time, did fill a space. How's he's called it? Because it was the first demon of its kind that I'd seen that removed a minion from play in exchange for a powerful demon ability, which was an interesting concept. Basically, the text is that the demon loses a minion, but once per game they can choose to sacrifice a knight of kills to turn their 2 townsfolk neighbours evil. And it creates really interesting social plays in games, and confirmed players are not always 100% confirmed, and it's just, a great time. Lots of people love it.
Nice. I really like it. Even though I've hardly played with it because I hate homebrew stuff.
But yeah, that would be my suggestion.
There's a question that I've just seen here that I think is quite a good one as well. Like, what's the best amnesiac ability you've been given in a game?
I did write that one down.
I'm so ready for this question.
Oh, this question. So I've got one for this. There was a game I played about a year ago with a group in Singapore. I wasn't in Singapore. I was here in the UK. The beauty of the internet. And we were playing. So they're also friends with Sam C. Ken Cheng was playing with them as well. Terry, a couple of people from like the NRB crew, and Ken was storytelling this. Sorry, no. Gray was storytelling the game. Gray, amazing guy. Hardly plays Clocktower these days, but amazing guy. But he was storytelling the game, and Ken was the amnesiac who was turned evil by the bounty hunter and had the ability. Your 2 townsfolk neighbours believe they are made mad by the Serenovus as a character. So they are woken and they are told the Serenovus would like you to be mad as the Pixie or whatever it is. And they're both told the same character. And what that caused was so much confusion between those 2 players where they were both like, well, I'm Seramad, but so they can't be Seramad. And then, but obviously neither of them could out that they were Seramad. So you just saw 2 people crumble like before your eyes in this game, and Ken being in the middle like, I don't know what my ability is. It was really good. It was really wild.
That's great. That's a good engaging ability.
Cool. Yeah.
So my best and strongest was probably the first one I ever had. I don't know if it's. Do you guys remember the first amnesiac ability you ever had as the amnesiac? Because I do. I'm not sure if. Yeah, looking at you guys.
I've written mine down.
Maybe not. The
Not
first one I had
first, but-
was pick a player and then I'd learn a role. And I actually bingoed it. It was the role 2 down on the script from what they actually were. And so I confirmed 2 good players. And obviously what Town did, they executed me and then the 2 good players I confirmed. So
Nice.
we even won that game. It was horrible. So that was the best amnesiac ability I ever had. It wasn't useful because it just got all the good players killed. But I'll answer it in a different way. My favourite amnesiac ability of all time is the one where Jenny was the amnesiac, where if you're targeted by the demon or something, they die. And Rube inadvertently star passed, I inadvertently star passed. It went to Olivia, who managed to ride out the game. But I have slight regrets in not just telling Olivia, oh, kill Jenny the amnesiac. Jenny the amnesiac's really powerful, so that we'd have had the entire evil team dead just from targeting the amnesiac. That would have been really funny. That's my favourite.
Niz, do you remember the game that we played on Gen Con?
That was great.
That was the
People.
worst. That was the worst. No, that was the
It's
worst.
just like, oh, that game was so fun. You're like,
Yeah,
no.
oh, it was fun for Niz. Niz was Mez turned.
I was
and
nearly Mez turned, and you didn't come to me for like 4 days.
I didn't know what my ability was. So I had the ability of being able to turn the Mez turn player back to good.
Yes.
The words were worldwide and international. Like I don't know which way around it was. One of them was the Mez word, and the other. And all I had was patters every night saying to me, "Oh, Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide is just behind this door. Oh, he's gonna come. He's got to guess your ability, Arif." And I just couldn't do it.
I remember watching that.
Just need to clarify something because Noor's messaged me. No, Noor, this is not a podcast.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if we can all just confirm that this isn't a podcast, that'd be great. If you all wanna.
My contract dictates I must declare that this is not a podcast.
Correct. Ellie, can we get a word from you just confirming that this isn't a podcast? Ellie?
Yeah. This is not a podcast.
Thank you. I thought you weren't going to say it then. Oh.
Remove the snipers on the roof now.
It would have been another bye, Ellie.
Oh.
Bye, Ellie.
No, Ellie said it. It's fine. Ellie can stay.
I saw JP in the chat a second ago as well. Where's that message gone? JP, remember our twin game? Of course I remember our twin game, JP. That's what that was a while ago. That was on a stream that they no longer stream, ECG, long time ago. But I woke up on the first day, claimed to be JP's good twin, that JP was the evil twin. JP ended up being the pit hag, and at the first opportunity he could, made me into the evil twin. I was given an evil player as my good twin. Some other shenanigans happened, and I eventually got JP as my good evil twin. So the prophecy was fulfilled at the end of it all.
Beautiful.
Oh
God.
got my amnesiac ability now.
Yeah. I'll go last.
I don't remember amnesiac abilities of other people because I don't write them down, so I'm sure there's been some great ones. But the one that I have enjoyed playing as the most was literally just each night you learn off script, you start knowing information. So I was just getting woken every night and told random things that didn't correlate to each other at all. And I managed to figure it out, and it was one of the best moments I've ever had in a Clocktower game. Audiophile was the storyteller for that one, so shout out to Audi because that was a really fun game. I really enjoyed that ability. But yeah, I always remember it because I was so excited to figure it out. I felt so clever.
It's nice, isn't it? Like every story that we've got seems to hark back to someone else in the community that was like a big part of it, and that's just lovely, isn't it? It's like obviously a lot of people play on the streams, a lot of people play in our server off stream as well, and it's lovely to hear that you'll always have like underlying memories of these people like throughout because they've just brought so much joy into all of our lives. It's Oh, it's really nice. It's a really nice feeling. Right. Enough about being sentimental. Swampert, what was your favourite amnesiac ability?
So I think mine was slightly different because I think all of your Omni abilities have been from a player perspective. Mine was actually from a storyteller perspective. I was running my Dearly Beloved script, and on the script there is a Mezephiles and an Amnesiac. And so I gave the Amnesiac the ability each night, choose a player. If you pick the Mezephiles or the player turned evil by the Mezephiles, they are mad that they are the Mezephiles for that day.
Nice.
And what was beautiful about this game is that it was a little monster game, and the Mez had turned somebody evil. And obviously, we all know that Mez, little monster, is quite powerful, which is why I put that ability in. And they gave the baby to the Mezephiles on the night that the Amnesiac picked the Mezephiles. So I woke the Mez up. I was like, "Hey, how do you think this game's going?" It was like, "Oh, this is great. I've turned somebody evil. Like, we've executed." I was like, "That's great. You're mad that you are the Mezephiles today." And he was like, "What?" It's like, "Please be mad that you are the Mezephiles, or you may be executed."
Oh
Brutal.
no.
That's brutal.
It was a wonderful game. What's funny is that Mezephiles actually ended up coasting because people thought there was something weird going on with them, so they just left them alone. But yeah, that was my most memorable amnesiac ability.
Nice.
Arif?
Hell yeah.
No, mine was the Ken one. Mine was the one with the. That's probably it, because it was so different to, like, all the other ones have been a bit naff, innit? Like, let's be honest. Not yours. Sorry, not yours. Like, all the ones that I've experienced, because I'm really bad at being the amnesiac. So, like, I'll hardly ever get a bingo.
Swampert reminded me of a time, if I move slight topics, to Favourite Madness. I had a game where Robe, the alchemist harpy, made me mad that my neighbour Patrick was evil. And Robe whispered Patrick during the first night, "We should probably do whatever Niz says." And Patrick said, "Yeah, we'll do whatever Niz says." And followed by Robe doing that. But there was a lot of typing in the script. I was an evil minion, so I just beat... I checked this with Hobble's storyteller, by the way, Hob, great storyteller. And I checked with Hob, if I claim to be the Lord of Typhon, does that satisfy madness? And Hob's like, "Yeah, well, if you're Lord of Typhon, then Patrick's evil." So I just went around claiming Lord of Typhon day one. Robe comes yelling at me. Claiming to be Lord of Typhon does not satisfy madness on Patrick.
I was in this game. I remember it.
I got super trusted by the good team for doing all that crap. It was great. It was very funny because Robe was not happy with me doing it that way. It worked.
I do remember that. Oh, that was a good game. Yeah, Hob is a great storyteller. I've got some more questions if you.
Let's do them. Why not? Yeah, let's do them. People seem to be having fun, and that's the most important thing with this regular old chat with 4 people and nothing more.
I think this is a really great question, and I already know my answer to it. Not Now I'm Busy Will said, "Have you experienced any burnout with Clocktower?"
Oh, fuck yeah. Loads.
That's a great question. And
with the amount of Clocktower we play, it would be weird if we hadn't. And I think the most important thing I would say with something like this is it's nice to take a break. Even if you don't feel like you need to, take a break for a couple of days. Like, I'm the sort of person that will play 4 times a week. And by the 4th time that week, I'm like, ugh, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I'm like almost like I almost end up having like physical symptoms sometimes, not always, sometimes. It depends on so many things, how the games have gone and all that stuff, and as much as you don't want to let it affect you, it obviously does. But I would say the best thing you can ever do is just take a couple of days or a day and just disconnect from it all.
I think what's important to remember, like, it is a social deduction game, which means unfortunately people will come at you from all different angles, whether you are good or evil, and sometimes you have those games, and I've had a few myself recently, where it's like you could be the most confirmed player in. So I was genuinely the most confirmed. I nominated a virgin, and like the information I had was backing up like 2 other people, and still it was a case of, well, what if those 2 people are evil? And this happened in a particular way, and I was like, it's just not possible for these reasons. And when you're arguing that much against certain things in this game, I know obviously the point is to have fun, but sometimes it can be very taxing. So it is important to have those breaks, like Arif said, especially as well because these games can go on for an hour or two, and sometimes it can be an hour or two of absolutely fighting for your life, which is the most emotionally draining thing you can do, you know.
So I'm a bit different to most people, but I don't tend to detox on a regular basis, like stop playing like after 4 games or whatever, but I do a full detox about twice a year, roughly once every 6 months. So my detoxes last a month. I just don't Clocktower at all. I don't watch Clocktower, I don't play Clocktower. I still interact with my friends, but it's not much Clocktower. So during the month of January this year, I did no Clocktower. It was February when I started doing Clocktower again. I think I stopped on like Christmas Day or something.
Disciplined, is.
Yeah, and it seems to happen like about a month after every GLC. I just decide, I need a break now, and then I come back. I'm super refreshed. I'm super hyped, and I super enjoy it. And for me, that works.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
How about you, Ellie?
I think I've burnt out a few times, but it's not lasted like massively long, and it tends to be just like less so I have burnt out Clocktower and more that there's so much other stuff going on in my life that playing Clocktower as well is just way too much. So yeah, and I've taken a few weeks break and whatnot, but yeah, I haven't played an off-stream Clocktower game since like the start of February, so I think I'm having a bit of like a step back from Clocktower phase at the moment. It's not a complete detox of it, but yeah.
No, you just want the celebrity status that the stream brings. That's all.
Yeah, obviously.
You want to play Clocktower for free,
yeah.
right? That's what it is, right?
I refuse to play with normal people.
Of course, look, our games are scripted, so like obviously it's more like
so
acting, right?
Yeah, it's so much easier. I don't have to do any solving.
Ellie's here for the podcast and the podcast alone. Half right.
Exactly.
The fact is, there's no podcast, but yes, the other Ellie is here specifically for this chat and this chat alone. Ellie doesn't waste her time with Clocktower. That silly game. What fee does Arif pay to be on the stream? Yes.
Not enough.
Yes. Yes. If only there was money in Clocktower. Oh, I'd be a rich man if there was money in Clocktower. I've retired a long time ago.
I have a very fun question from Rhett.
Let's
I
hear
will
it.
slightly amend it for YouTube purposes.
This is the one that I allowed through the mod filter.
When did you allow this? What the hell?
Okay,
When did you become a mod? What the hell?
Snug,
You
Marry,
modded
Kill. So it's the Snug, Marry, Kill edition. Nodashi, Pucker, and Imp.
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm snogging that Nodashi. I don't care.
okay, hold on. Okay, there's an objectively correct answer to this. You pucker up for the pucker.
Oh,
You marry the Nodashi because tentacles.
appendages.
Yeah, and then you kill the imp because the imp will the skull will want to pick it up.
Past
Yeah,
a
it's
minion.
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Easy.
I feel
Next
like
question.
I feel like that's a chat interaction one, right? Like chat can answer that one for us.
Yeah,
Definitely.
chat. What do you think? Jesus Christ.
I thought that was a really fun question.
Yeah, no, it was a question.
It was a question.
Oh, wow.
Oh dear.
What do people want to see from? Okay, all right. This is a question to chat. What if you were watching a podcast, which you're not? What would you want to see from said podcast? What? I'll leave that one with you, and we'll come back to it afterwards.
right after Niz tells us what his choices are for those three.
No. It's not. We've done that question. Arif's answered it.
I answered it for all of us.
Oh,
We all
answer,
have to
okay.
live with the answer now. That's
Oh,
it.
I'm marrying the imp. I'm marrying the
I
imp.
was marrying the imp. I just couldn't be bothered to say.
Amazing.
This is I guess this is a question more for Arif and maybe myself, but I know Niz has thought about it, and Ellie does stream as well. The Spiritus asked, how did you make the leap from playing games to choosing to stream games and make content for them, essentially?
Ooh. I saw a... So I was playing on the TPI stream, I think at the time. I saw a Reddit post from someone that was like, oh, I want to see these players' player perspectives. And I think it was like, who was it? I think it was Karen, JC, Benny, and me. I might have that completely wrong, but I remember it being 4 names that were on there. This was years ago. And I read it, and I was like, that could be quite fun. So I went, Mia, help me out. I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Shout out to Mia, by the way. This stream wouldn't exist if Mia hadn't helped me set all this up and basically tell me do not what a mistake it was exactly and do not touch it. Basically, is what we got to. And yeah, and then I just started making Clocktower. Literally started making Clocktower videos from there, and it's gone pretty well, I guess. Like, people seem to enjoy them. I guess at the time I did play perspectives, which no one else was really doing exclusively. I know Niz loves them, and hates me for changing them and just not doing them as much anymore.
That's not why I hate you.
That's not why you hate me. Fair enough. Well played.
Everyone say bye, Niz!
Bye, Niz. Well, Niz is going to be on the next... No, there isn't a next episode. Never mind. Ignore it. No, I started off with player perspective. No one else was doing it, so I created my own little niche. I was known for that for a while, and then, as you quite kindly said it last time, Swampert, like, it was the natural progression to go into storytell perspective. So yeah, started off from a Reddit post of one person. That's all it takes. One person saying, I'd like to see this, please. And since then, I've been able to get JC to do a takeover. So yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Two. Thanks to that Reddit post, 2 people from it have now done a player perspective, at least one.
Hell yeah.
Garrett brought up a great point, saying that, so what you're saying is that Arif streams were also peer pressured. So basically the podcasts are guaranteed to be successful, right?
Look, I think there is a... I was literally having this chat with Marcus yesterday. I think there is a formulaic way to make, like, YouTube and Twitch content successful, and none of this peer pressure has ever been any part of the plan, because my plan has never been to be successful. It's literally been, I want to make videos and then people can enjoy them, and then I can watch them in 20 years and show my kids and be like, look, I did something I enjoyed. It's never been the plan to be like successful from it. But I feel like there is a way to get successful. But all of this is just like completely blown that out of the way. I don't understand why, like, people hang on to stuff, and no matter how much you say no, you're not doing it, you all seem to want to annoy me and say you want me to do it. And so that's why all these people are doing it with me. I've dragged them in.
I will just make a point. I think there's a very good little paragraph, just replying to what you said, Arif, and what I said earlier, and that people seem to be agreeing with, saying, like, somebody's saying basically that we're right in that there is quite a bit of saturation in the sort of this content creation, but people seem to just be enjoying the let's just have a chat and talk to chat and get questions from chat and be silly about it. And I do think it is something that is perhaps missing.
There's look, there's an opportunity space, sure. There's also are we the ones that can fit that space sort of situation? Do you know what I mean? And I'm not putting the pressure on all of us here. I mean like if I think about like the stream group that we play with, like, are we the people that are gonna fit that space? Possibly, but do I want to put that pressure on us as a group? No. Like, if people really want it, then fine. We can think about doing one more episode at some point.
Just one.
Exclusive.
Just one.
Exclusive.
Just one.
Exactly. If you do another episode, this one doesn't count. That would be episode 1.
We'll delete this one from existence.
What I will say, if this is going to go up on YouTube as a 1-episode podcast, and there's might be a
Not a
Not a
podcast. Sorry.
Not a podcast.
Yeah,
Sorry.
be very clear,
Sorry.
please, here, Swampert.
That
Not
was
a
right.
podcast.
Sorry, yes.
Lawsuit.
I've broken my NDA. Oh no. Just, if this is up on YouTube, feel free to leave a couple of comments with some questions you might want to see in the next chat
Nope.
that we do.
Nope. Don't do that. Don't
I
ask
mean-
any questions.
If there are
Don't
no
even-
questions, we never have to do this again, right?
Yeah, exactly. As long as there are no
questions.
questions in chat,
Yeah.
we never have to do this again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, at this
Don't
point,
do questions. It will
Niz,
become
Swampert, and I
awkward.
have all been banned from it. Ellie, I guess you're doing it by yourself. You got
Oh,
this.
good. Okay,
You
great.
got this, Ellie.
I'm being sued, so I can't legally take part now.
Oh.
All right, I think that was a Niz, Ellie, anything to say? Like, I know Ellie does do content creation. Niz, you talked about doing it before.
So, I feel now this gets a bit serious because I feel like a lot of the content creators, they have their own like Discord server, that sort of stuff, and they do a lot of work. So for me to do it, I feel like if I was to do it where I'm infringing someone else's server, it's just wrong. So I can do sort of things like takeovers for Arif. I have like mildly considered like, because the Clocktower community, sorry, not the Clocktower community, the Hearthstone community were playing Clocktower, but I've kind of stopped a bit, but there's lots of interest still there. I feel I could do something that's like a mix between the Hearthstone community and the Clocktower community and possibly set something up and stream there, but I just don't have the time and I'm a bit lazy. And I also I should probably discuss this with Lorinda first because it's more Lorinda's territory rather than mine. So it's just something I haven't got around to really seriously considering. But maybe in the future there might be something there. But I think more likely in the future I'll just help Harif out with content. That may be an option where I do a couple of takeovers. That might be how I get into content creation.
Chaos has said that we need to see the Niz Nation. So if you do make content, then
I've started a poll. Do you want to see a Niz stream takeover? Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
If you all say no, then I don't have to tell you all my secrets.
Oh,
That'd be great.
that's
I'm
the
worried
beauty of
about
it,
giving
Niz.
away all my secrets.
There is no no
I
option.
wouldn't do that.
They're both yeses.
we have the
yes.
illusion.
They have the illusion of choice, but yes is winning currently.
Wait, well, of course, because that's
There's a commanding lead, actually, I would say.
Whoa! So many people want this this stream takeover. Oh my god. I mean, if we look at the amount of votes, that's the main thing.
This is
Ellie,
rigged.
Yeah, that's
Ellie,
what
how did
matters.
you get into
rigged.
content
I'm gonna
creation?
vote for yes, but
How
this
did
is
I
rigged.
a very long time ago. I think I started streaming in like 2018.
What? You started streaming
Um,
Clocktower before it was Clocktower?
No, there's the thing. So obviously for me it's kind of backwards, right? Because I do streaming and content that isn't Clocktower. But I would like to do more Clocktower because I love this game. Everything's great. And I think I enjoy watching the content from it and I like making things that I enjoy. But I will never be a Clocktower creator. Clocktower will always just be one of the things that I do.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different for me. But yeah.
No, you gotta commit. Just kick out
Just
everything
Clocktower.
else.
Get
and
rid of
just focus
everything
on one
else.
thing. Just on one thing. What else do you stream?
I stream Phasmophobia mainly. Nowadays anyway. But I started playing like when I first started streaming, it was always Minecraft. I've streamed Overwatch, I've streamed The Sims, I've done all sorts. I've had all sorts of phases, but yeah, Phasmophobia is my thing now.
I relate to that. Phases.
What about yourself?
I've been streaming on and off for many years. Probably been streaming overall most out of most people here, I think. That isn't a brag. I'm awful at it. The one little brag that I do have is that if for those who remember Mixer, which was Microsoft's streaming platform before it was Mixer, it used to be called Beam, and it was a lovely platform. They used to have like sub-second delays and like little interactive boards and stuff. I'm not a boomer, okay? And I used to be pretty popular over on Beam before it went into Mixer. So yeah, I met a lot of great people there, and that's the one thing I'm most thankful for from content creation. Just the sheer amount of lovely friends that I've got. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, wonderful, wonderful. Nice
I
little
always say it's not always about the game; it's about the people you play with.
1000%.
They're what make the game.
100%.
Yeah.
We are very lucky to have such an amazing community with this game, right? Especially like look at the people that go to the conventions. Look at the people like a lot. I think I would say like 90% of the people just get it. 95% of the people just get the vibe, get the idea, get it all. With any community, you're always going to have a small group that maybe you don't enjoy games with, you don't vibe with, and that's absolutely okay. But I think like the vast majority of people in this community are just lovely, lovely folks, including you, random viewer. Yes, you are a great person. There you go.
As long as you don't leave a comment on YouTube asking a question.
Yes, you, Garrett. No, sorry, not specifically, not you, Garrett, because you've stolen
Garrett.
my stream and you've put it on an illegal website. And my lawyers will be coming with me to GLC 5. We expect to see you there on Garrett. A side note: if anyone knows a good lawyer based in Telford,
I will come as your lawyer.
there we go. Niz will do it for me. Oh, you better get ready, Garrett.
Better.
A storm's coming.
Alright, I would nominate Garrett Day one of a game and say I'm Arif's lawyer. This is my accusation.
I need
How
that
much is
ghost.
your bribe, Niz? Just
We would not be doing that in a public talking space.
okay, perfect.
Definitely
perfect.
not on a podcast.
X Factor said 149 and then one wonderful viewer. There's only one. It's one of you.
Just one
You've
of
got to
you.
figure it out.
But crucially, you know who you are. That's all I'm gonna say. You know who you are. And I'm just glad that the attention is great. Like,
particularly silly question here from Kaluard. Said, if you had to go on a week-long cruise and had to take an outsider character with you, which outsider would you take and why? I already know the answer to this.
Fascinating. Let me look at the outsiders 1 second.
I think the correct answer is Hatter, because you have all your fancy hats for your big cruise. I don't know why. It's chat says Butler. Butler's a good one.
Butler is very good. Sweetheart is a very good answer, Caffeine.
Drunk.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't drink, so yeah, okay, but yeah, sure. I can see how that would be appealing.
This is going to be a very weird answer, but
Realistic
depending
answer, drunk.
on- probably politician, because I'm just into my politics and stuff.
Okay,
Probably enjoy chatting to certain politicians quite a bit.
Okay.
until they turn evil, Niz.
No,
I'm gonna
obviously
say-
they turn evil.
I'm gonna say Plague Doctor. Right,
I'm an ogre.
next
I
question,
would
keep
take my
them coming.
friend with me.
You just call your friend an ogre, Ellie.
No, as in the ogre will be my friend.
Oh, I thought you'd call one of your personal friends an ogre.
Is the ogre like a baby
They can
bird sort of
guess which
situation where it's like the first thing that they set their eyes on, they're like, Mama? Is that what it is? Is that what the baby is that what the ogre is? So you bring the ogre on and it opens its eyes, it sees the captain, and it's like, and you're like, no, come back, ogre. Anyway.
By the way, really good answer if you're really introverted. You just go recluse, because then he'll leave you alone.
Just stay in your cabin the entire time. Oh, right.
I'll skip one question ahead because I'll come back to the other one, because this is another slightly similar to the Amni question. But what is the best and or worst Yaggababble phrases you've heard?
Oh, you know my worst one, but you know my worst.
I thought you had a really good game in that
I
game.
really enjoyed that game until I shot myself in the foot with it. Stupid game, stupid Yaggababble.
Do you want to tell us about that game, Arif?
No,
Maybe plug it?
I don't want to tell you about that game.
No?
No.
Anything memeing has is the worst? Yeah, that's probably true.
Poor
Well,
Mimi.
I mean, I was the fortune teller in some of those games. That it wasn't the phrase.
I like Yag phrases that are So the way I like to run Yaggababble is I'll work with the player and say, what would you like as your phrase? So a great example of that is something that Rhett did I can't spoil the video, but the video comes out tomorrow. It's an I'll spoil it. It's fine. I won't spoil the ending, but I'll spoil the Yag phrase. So Elizabeth pulls the Yaggababble token. It's a player perspective from her side, and Rhett gives her the phrase "That's wild." But alongside that, Robe, a minion in that game, continues to say the phrase "bad for beavers."
It's that game.
The funniest shit I've seen in a long time. That video comes out tomorrow, gang. It's a very good. That's 6 p.m. UK time
and
tomorrow.
It's wild and bad for beavers.
That is a banger video.
It's capital B, bad for beavers. That one.
Yeah.
It's a very, very silly video. So that I would probably say that's my favourite one.
I believe Geordie actually suggested "That's wild" as the Yag phrase in that.
That was
game
it. Yeah. That was it. Yeah, because Elizabeth always says it, and she's like,
"That's
"What do I always
wild."
say?" And then
Yeah.
Geordie clocks onto it very, very quickly.
I think for me, I mean, like Yag phrases have to be something you can slip in. I recently gave a good one that was suggested by a player. They suggested they wanted to go for a Yag phrase that was "I agree with" and then a specific player. So there was a player called Garlic in the game. And it was sat next to him. I was like, I want my Yag phrase to be "I agree with Garlic." I was like, what if you just go with "I agree with"? Because that's you're selling other people's worlds then, and also you can't push on the world. Like you can't agree with them if they're then pushing against the demon, which I thought.
And also not saying anything.
So yeah, that was a great one. Just. For me, simple ones like I think one of my favourite wins with the Yaggababble, I had the phrase "Here's the thing."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, just little ones like that.
There was one that we did recently. What was the phrase using? I put it in the thumbnail. It's not going to be out for ages, but let's have a look. I'll find it. Anyway, Ellie and Niz, what about yourselves in the meantime?
I cannot remember a single Yag phrase I've ever witnessed.
Right. So I don't have any worst phrases I've had. I will say when I get the Yaggababble token, I get a little bit of social anxiety. There's no other character that gives it to me, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to talk and say these things and do something to make this happen. I don't like it. But saying that I've been the Yaggababble 4 times, I won every game. My favourite phrase though isn't even one that I had. It's one on Patra's YouTube that Quinn had. That our game I lost, and this is why Clocktower isn't about the winning; it's just about the fun. And I can't remember the exact wording. Quinn was the general, and there was something about "is evil really winning" or something. And Quinn just absolutely nailed it. It's such a good game. It was so wild, and I'm like, how the hell did I let them get away with it? But it's
Evil
so good.
Winning. Yeah.
Paz has some real bangers. That one really, I think that was.
So good.
I think that came out last year at some point, early last
Yeah,
year.
it's quite old now, but still, if you haven't seen it, you gotta see it.
Evil is winning. That's it.
It was
winning.
pretty brand new as well at that point.
I mean, I can't believe Evil is winning. Like, do we
Yeah.
really think Evil is winning? Yeah. I remember that.
Yes,
And at
Evil
the
is
end of the
winning.
game, you just have this like, oh, for God's sake, no, I can say
No,
whatever.
it's like, bravo, kid, bravo. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
My friend has just reminded me of a phrase in chat of a game that I story told, where I gave them the phrase Typhon line. It was a really good game. The good team had the entire solve. They had the phrase. They had the entire evil team. They just got the minion and the demon the wrong way around. It was the closest game I've ever seen. It was amazing.
Brutal.
Can I add another answer to this question? Because Austin's just DM'd me, and this is true. So I started as a good character, I can't remember what good character, next to Noor in the game, and the other side was Hodge. There was a Mezephiles and a Summoner. Someone put was in this game, I'm pretty confident, as an evil player. I think. Anyway, the Mez word was something like Thunderous or Applause. And so I got Mez turned, and there was still a Summoner in the game. Gambling, I think it was Swampert and Gambling were the starting evil team. And so basically, they were planning on turning Hodge, which would have made the starting empath who died, who had a 0, have an empath 2, which would have been funny. But I'm like, no, we got to summon Austin. I was like, we should go after Austin. Hodge dies every game for being the demon, and they summoned Austin, and they faked Leviathan game for 5 days, and then after 5 days, like the Yaggababble. Both the Yaggababble and Gambling just started going thunderous applause a million times. And Patrick, the storyteller, just killed the entirety of town after the final 3. It was absolutely insane. Thunderous applause has been my favourite phrase ever since. So good.
Amazing. I think there's something about the Yag that I think strikes a lot of fear into a lot of people. But I think as a storyteller, like just working with the person and just being like, hey, what do you want? What do you want the phrase to be? Do you want it to be silly? Do you want it to be something you say a lot? Do you want it to be something absolutely batshit crazy? Like, whatever it is, like, work with... I think it's the same thing with the Mez, you know? I think it's not fun to force someone to say a word that is difficult for them to inherently say. So work with them. Like, it doesn't... Obviously, like, don't just be like, oh, the word is the... As someone turns, like, it has to be something that's at least a little bit balanced, but still, I think it's worth being able to work with people for it.
Those are my Yaggababble phrases, which you're not allowed to read, but you can see that.
Everyone, just pause the video and zoom in. There you go, easy.
There's no chance. It's too far away.
I would like to slightly amend my Amnesiac one, because I did just remember. I don't know how many of the 3 of you are told about my Amnesiac ability. When I played JC Scripts, the Outsider Amnesiac, I gave the Amnesiac each night choose a player. If they're a good player, they're mad that they are a rubber ducky for that day, which was just so completely disruptive for the good team, because they were like, what is going on? Why is this player quacking? I cannot understand. And it was
does this
chef's
so
kiss.
Like I think a lot like do you feel like the meta around Amni, and I guess Atheist in a way now as well, has been changed like forevermore because of the addition of the Wizard? Because I feel like stuff like that wouldn't have really happened. Like, I feel like there was a general air of a box that people used to put their Amnesiac abilities into, and it would usually fit a certain style. It would never be crazy and wacky. And then the Wizard came along, and that box just blew up.
Yeah.
To this. Now everything is just like we've obviously all either been a part of or watched that Wizard video with JC and yourself, Swampert. Like, that video, like, just I think was almost like okay, well, we can't put this back in now.
No.
Like, for our group especially, like, this is how the Wizard is going to be, and it almost felt like we were trying to always elevate up to that level with the Wizard. Like, it felt like that naturally. Do we think that it's the same thing with Amnesiac now, that things have just escalated?
I mean,
Sometimes, not every time.
Yeah. I think people are still more tame with Amnesiac. But I do think that the Wizard allows you to be less tame with Amnesiac, which I enjoy. Because I think I've experienced it as a storyteller, and I think I've seen other people be hesitant to do crazy Amnesiac abilities because they're like, okay, but if they figure it out, or if the good team figures it out, or something like that, it's going to be way too confirmable. It's going to solve the game. But with the existence of Wizard, if it's on the script, you can do whatever you want, because it could just be the Wizard, you know. And I think
it could
that
just be the Wizard.
yeah, I think it helps.
What it's allowed, I think, is... I think somebody mentioned it in chat just very briefly. It's allowed more confirmatory abilities to come out, because when there wasn't that Wizard there, if you confirm that player is the Amnesiac, there's no other possible way that whatever their abilities can be happening. But with the Wizard, it's allowing you to do those crazier things that are like... That could be Wizard, that could be Amnesiac, you know, which I actually personally love, because I think that's what Amnesiac should be. It should be, sometimes it should be wacky benefits for good, and it should make you doubt that player is a good player.
I also think as well, like, the Amni, I guess, it's inherently storyteller driven versus the Wizard, which is inherently player driven, and something that I think we've instilled in our games, and it's something I highly recommend instilling in your games if you're. Sorry, I'm speaking to the camera now to people in chat on this, not a podcast. I think that it's important to set out expectations with the wizard. So something we've done is say even one person will have an unfun time with the wish that you're about to grant. Sorry, that you're about to ask for. We won't be granting that wish as a storyteller because I don't think that's an enjoyable thing to do. And I think that's I guess that's just Clocktower all over, isn't it? It's like, don't do stuff that's going to be unfun for even one person because that's not in the spirit of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm very much on the fun. Fun is the most important thing side of Clocktower, which is obviously not for everyone. Some people like the competitive aspect of the game as well. But yeah, I think for me it's always fun first, competition second.
I think that's an interesting talking point for a different chat because I think it's something we can go into in length.
When that'll happen.
Well,
we're never talking again.
Oh, there was a question by Emma. Emma highlighted a question very. Sorry, we'll come back to the chat in literally 30 seconds. In your view, did Niz make a binding promise to bring back Clocktower streams within the Hearthstone group? Niz?
I need to talk to Lorinda and.
I thought you were going to say my lawyer then.
I think just because my lawyer.
If anything, I didn't make a promise because I said I'm too lazy and too busy. So probably the opposite.
I've been asking Lorinda to do Clocktower streams for a long time. I think it's a natural progression for them, and they'll really enjoy them.
Garrett,
ask me, not Niz. Yes, Niz has promised. In my view, Niz has made a binding promise to bring Clocktower streams within the Hearthstone group. That's what I believe, Niz. Because Emma asked me.
Well, then I won't be available for your takeovers. I'll be doing my own stuff.
No, you can do both. Why not both? There are 7.
Where am I getting the time for all
Niz,
this?
Molly May said everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, right? Everyone has the same 24 hours. Just hers a foot filled with millions of dollars and stuff.
My next wizard would ask for 36 hours in a day because I need the time.
Valid. Yeah, I agree.
There was a question that I skipped over before, which Garrett has actually brought back up in chat. I intentionally skipped over it because I thought it would be a good one to end on. Logo asks, when do you guys differentiate when to sort of have a silly goose game and when to try and sort of be a bit more serious in a game? Like, is there a differentiation there, do you think?
This is going to be a weird answer. Because I promise, like, Clocktower content it's natural. It is natural. But I think when we think about Clocktower as a content medium, I think it's naturally going to be a little bit more silly and a little bit more, like, completely spontaneously, just because people know that they're playing to an audience and having fun with it, and people are going to be talking about these games afterwards and stuff. I think it's absolutely natural that happens. I always say to folks, like, let's all just have a fun time, not worry about it, and be yourselves, because that's the most important thing more than anything. As long as you're giving people space, as long as you're having a good time and everyone's having a good time, then that's going to be the best content. Like, that's all we can ever ask for, right? But it depends on the vibe of the group, right? I think all of us will be dictated to how people are feeling in that game. If, like, I'm sure all of us have joined a random lobby and be like, this is probably too serious for me, I'm going to duck out of it and join a different one or make my own game or whatever it is, with people that get that vibe. And so I think, I mean, I'd love one of your perspectives on this. I think for me it's just, there isn't a defined time, it's just more silly than solve, more fun than not, I think.
Yeah. I think my answer is different between storyteller and player, to be honest. I think, like, no matter where I go, when I try and storytell, I always try and have that bit of fun in there, no matter where I can do it. Like, one time I did a bit where every single, like, I think this was a recorded game, actually. I think it went out maybe on your channel, where every day the player that died in the night woke up with a post-it note on their head with a joke on it, and I told that joke to town. Or like if someone claims to have like a weird amnesiac ability in the town, I might joke it to life. We had somebody say somebody claimed amnesiac and said they'd like to hold the croissant. I was like, okay, you're holding the croissant. And then the next player next to them was like, I want to claim amnesiac and hold the croissant. I went, that player's now holding the croissant. Like just little silly things that like perk up a player's game, even though like they don't mean anything.
The pencil bit. Yeah, the pencil bit. Patters is very good at this as well. I think you're very good at this. Patters is very good at this. As a storyteller, being able to drive your vision of how you want the game to be is so important, and that's where that's how you separate the best storytellers from the good storytellers in a way. Definitely.
You can hold the croissant if you like, but don't touch the banana. Don't touch the banana.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody
has a physical banana in the game. You don't touch it.
Somebody claimed amnesiac and licked the croissant, so then I proceeded to tell everybody they were holding a soggy croissant.
How much saliva was on that lick?
So, my answer to this question is, as a player, you change depending on the vibe of the group quite often. So there are times where I start silly, and if other players are not really appreciating or joining in the silliness, then I get a bit more serious. And vice versa. If I start a bit more serious, then I will... and other people are being silly, I'm like, okay, this is a silly game, let's just have a fun time sort of thing. So it's just group dependent, and different groups and different players play in a different way. And so I just normally mold to the group. As a storyteller, I always try and inject some enthusiasm, some humor, some silliness, and I try and push the group towards being silly and fun and that sort of thing. So as a storyteller, I try and have a bit more influence of doing a bit of naughtiness and that sort of thing. But as a player, I'll just vibe with what the group wants.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm always chaos out the gate, but I think pretty much every single game that we will hit a point late game where I will stop and I will actually play the game and I will mellow out. And I think the point that I usually look for when I flip the chaos switch down a little is usually when my chaos starts being detrimental to the game that somebody else is trying to play. I usually look for that in the people that are on my team, because they're the first people it'll start affecting. When my crazy shenanigans is actively being detrimental to my either my evil team trying to spread lies and stay covert and win the game, or the good team actually trying to solve the game, at that point I will be like, okay, I'll stop this now and I'll actually play the game, and that'll flip the switch kind of thing. That's what I look for.
You didn't stop it in the North Star video, did you, Ellie?
Because that was helping.
Was it? Was it helping my sanity?
It was helping my game and my team.
I think one of the things that this is just going to inflate your ego, Ellie. So I'm just not going to say it. No, I'm just not going to say it.
Oh, okay.
One of the bits of feedback that I got from someone who was watching your stream takeover. I won't say who it was, but Andrew said that you were very infectious. Is how I would describe. I think we've mentioned this before. But you were just your positivity in that game and on that stream just brought out the positivity in chat, brought out the positivity in the players, and it almost felt like, I feel like that's the case for whenever you're in games. I feel like that's the case whenever you're in games. But especially in that one, I think seeing it from your perspective, like a lot of people were just like, wow, okay, Ellie is to be fair, I say a lot of people. It was one person. It was Andrew. I'll never say who it was.
One person.
So yeah, so look out for that perspective. When's that coming out? I don't even bloody know.
Next February.
Oh, it's a long time. It is a long time. I wish I could tell, honestly. God, this backlog. I've got videos until the 18th of June now.
2026.
2026. Yeah, we're gonna be referring to the COVID and all that stuff.
So 3 years down the line, the Not a Podcast has been cancelled for 2.5 years.
You can't cancel something that never started. Anyway, it's there somewhere. Right,
Being reminded, like everyone knows, I send these spam on night one. Most games, not every single game. Sometimes I forget, and sometimes it just spirals into a bunch of nonsense with a funny chat. And it just dominates the game. So if you respond to my nonsense, it can become more nonsense and just affect everyone sometimes.
Yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
the
it's
best
just
though, isn't
you can
it?
set the vibe very early on if people are into it.
That's something that I try and do whenever we go to in-person games and I don't know the group. And some groups are really receptive to it, and some groups are just like, "Shut up, Harry." But I'll always try the like it's my favorite thing to do, especially in groups that like don't know who I am, and that's like the best thing ever. Where I'm just like, let's just be silly, let's just have fun. Oh, one of my favorite ever things that I ever did was someone who was new to the game. I had a story to, and I like. I hope they're not watching. I hope if you're watching, turn off this video right now. But one of my favorite things ever was I had a conversation with the storyteller on the first day, and then we were like, this other person was like, oh, it's my first ever game of Trouble Brewing. So I was the imp. So I was like, we're gonna get to Final 3, and that person is gonna execute me on Final 3. That's how I want this game to be. I don't know how we caveated it, like, sorry, fell into this, but yeah. So we ended up doing that, and I ended up getting to Final 3, and that person won, and they'll always like finish that game thinking, oh, in my first ever game, I executed the imp in Final 3 and I won the game for my team. And I was just like, that's a little personal victory for me.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know how. I'm just rambling on at this point.
No, don't worry,
stop me.
you're better about shut up. I get a lot of shut up with my spam. It's normal.
Oh. All right. Should we do one or two more questions and then we can wrap this up? I think this has been a lovely little.
It has. Yeah.
And
Isolated chat.
good. And as long as those YouTube people don't ask any more questions, this will be it. It'll be good.
That sounds like a threat, Niz.
YouTube
ask
people.
questions. Fine, we're done.
Not an episode. Not an episode.
Don't do it, YouTube people.
I'll touch on something while I don't have any more questions down. Obviously the in-person group that I go to, there is already quite a lot of people that go to that, but
That's the group I go to.
It is. If you don't go to an in-person Clocktower group, I highly recommend looking for in-person groups if you've got the time. Obviously there are some groups which only have a few members, but it is genuinely just a great time and a good way to meet new people that you wouldn't know exist. There's people that I sort of knew online within sort of an online circle, and I've met in person, whether at a convention or going to in-persons, and I speak to them every couple of days now because, you know, it's just you do really find some great people that way. So if you don't currently go to any in-person games, I highly recommend finding a group near you.
Yes and no. Is what I would say to that. Yes, mostly, because most groups are fantastic, but I think it's like online, where you've got to find the community that you vibe with as well.
Oh yeah.
I fully agree with what you said. I think playing Clocktower in person is an absolute must, and you should do it as much as you can. But like, I've travelled to games and then been like, in the first 5 minutes, I've been like, I don't think this is the group that.
Yeah.
And that is my own biases on the game. It's not anything that they did necessarily. It's just me being like, oh, I wanted more of like a fun, especially after like an hour and a half drive. I wanted more of a fun, chilled vibe, and these people are taking it a lot more seriously than I would like it to be, and things like that. There's been other games like shout out to Bake Battle and Roll in Doncaster. James and Rachel run it's their cafe, and they run Clocktower games there very, very regularly. I drove like 2 hours to them one time after work on a Friday, and like just spent the evening playing Clocktower with that group, and they were so much fun. They were just wonderful. But yeah, there's like with everything, right? You're gonna have people that you vibe with. You're gonna have people that, you know. I think also we're quite spoilt in that we have such a wonderful group that we get to play with so regularly that nothing ever comes close to that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we are super smart.
But that's yeah.
Well, so the message that I got from that, if your group's not good enough, make your own. That's what I heard there.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Yeah.
But this is it, right? Like, you want to, like, Clocktower games are long. They're bloody long.
They are.
And you don't want to waste 2 hours not having a good time. And so I think it's important to look past the like I just want to play Clocktower element, and make sure you're playing it with the people that you're going to enjoy, because you want to look back on it and think, you know what, I had a really nice, enjoyable, fun time with that group just then, and I want to play with them more.
Clocktower games aren't long. Wrong? I disagree. They're not long.
Not if you execute the demon on the first day.
Yeah,
right?
not if you're good at the game. Yeah.
I mean, I play games that last 5-6 hours. Like,
No, but I mean,
I'm kidding.
2 hours is you know what I mean? Yeah, 2 hours is still a long time to spend like doing anything, right?
I just related / unrelated. I found out was it yesterday or the day before? There's a local board game group, quite a large one, that was at a different site somewhere in unspecified city that shall remain unknown. And I saw a post that they'd moved locations to the building literally across the road from my block of apartments, and it's
Nice.
every Wednesday. So that's my evening tomorrow night sorted.
Are they playing Clocktower as well?
Well, I'm gonna bring it because yeah.
What time is that?
I want to say 7 p.m.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say, because that'll probably clash with what I'm doing at 9 p.m, which is not a podcast. Sorry, everything has to come back to that. Are you going to the
game tomorrow? Absolutely not.
Are you going to the games on Sunday, Swampert?
Yes, I
will
should
see
be.
you there. I will see you there. Ellie and Niz, you are welcome to join.
I work Sundays.
No pressure. But if you're not
Many
there,
hours away.
if you're not there, then I'll be very sad.
I'll let my boss know.
Yeah, you let your boss know.
Right, Arif, could you do like a really sad, almost crying expression to the camera? We'll frame it and then send it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that after the stream.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Emma says, I know a podcast when I see one, and this is a podcast. Well, Emma, you clearly don't know podcasts when you see them.
Emma, you just don't know them that well.
You just don't know podcasts, Emma. Emma underscore BOTC from the wonderful Grim Scenarios podcast. See, that's a real podcast.
That's the podcast, yeah.
That's a podcast you should be... Shout out.
I mean, I think Emma's claiming amnesiac, so I'm going to give a cold for that ability, Emma.
The channel you are shouting at does not exist. God damn it. Shout out.
Shout does not exist.
It's not Grim underscore scenarios. There's me in my big head
Scenario.
thinking everything is underscored. Everything is underscored.
Yeah.
There we go. Grim scenarios. Yeah, go show Grim scenarios. No, you were on Grim scenarios, right? Recently, right? I think that's
No,
something that
did a
happened
good
recently.
job.
Novel storytelling, yeah.
Nicholas, I can't wait for the next episode of your podcast. Not a podcast, not happening. Grim underscore scenarios underscore exactly, Garrett. Exactly. This is the part of the I was gonna say the P word. I didn't. This is part of the chat that we just listen to what chat is saying. Is that a wizard?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read out the messages.
You know what I really enjoyed about the
Every
Grim
single
Stories
one.
episode? I tried to fully ignore and Emma told me off. I loved it. Good job, Emma. Stood up for Noor. Well done.
It's an odd cast. I can't tell if that's an insult to the four of us or, you know.
Is that Garrett again? Oh, Garrett. Odd Garrett. Oh no, it's Nathan underscore elephant. See, every great username has an underscore in it. Oh, this has been lovely. Let's wrap it up with a question that I'm going to ask all three of you. If we were to do this again, which we're not, just to be clear, which we're not,
Scout's honour.
would you like to be involved?
Absolutely not. Yeah, yes, of course.
Niz?
If the chat gods
Did I use my lying voice and tell a lie or my truthful voice to tell the truth?
We all know when you're using your lying voice, so it's fine.
You all know? Okay. No, I'd not like to be involved.
That's a classic, Niz. That's definitely it. Yeah, wonderful. Well, good thing we're never doing this again. Thanks everyone for watching. Feel free to say bye to chat, folks. I'm gonna go say bye to chat.
Bye.
Bye, chat.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna go to the graveyard because this bit is officially dead and buried. That's it. We're done. No more podcast talk. No more chatter about, I've doing a podcast Wednesday at 9 p.m. Oh, now it's Tuesday at 7 p.m. No, that's it. We're done. We're done.